For those of you guys that may not know, we went ahead and put on some brand new Brembo brakes on the front end of the car that looks absolutely amazing. And on top of that as well, we had to spice up the rear end just a little bit. We went ahead and threw on the GT500 rear rotors. But we are not done. We have to go ahead and throw the rear pads on the car as well as the brand new StopTech stainless steel brake lines. For those of you guys that may also be thinking as well,
why didn't you throw on the stainless steel brake lines along with the brand new pads as well? Wouldn't that be just common sense?
You would think so, but I don't have that in me. And the reason why is because I tried to use pliers to twist the piston back, and I had success doing it, but unfortunately I cheaped out and decided, you know what, I'm not gonna use the tools. Don't do that. We're actually gonna go ahead and do it the right way today, and we're gonna be heading to my buddy Joe's job that you guys have seen in the previous videos if you have been following the channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead, drive there, and we're gonna be finally able to throw in this new pads and brake lines. That we're gonna have to take care of while we're over at Joe's job as well, considering I'm only really a backyard mechanic and he knows more shit about this than I do, is that we're gonna have to go ahead and check on the front brakes as well, because the front brakes work great. I have absolutely no issues with them whatsoever. They look great, they work great, and it's everything I ever wanted in a braking system. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to go ahead and try to figure out the squeaking, but it only seems like it happens when I'm slowing down at slow speeds, when I'm pushing on the brake at a certain level. Let's just say maybe 20 or 30%. Anything after that, the squeaking completely stops. Now, I noticed it also as well when I started driving the car, that the braking stays quiet for a majority of the way until I get to the location I need to, and then it starts embarrassing me from there. And it's very loud. Very, very fucking loud. And I need to figure this out. The heat and the chemical compounds within the pads that are causing it to make this noise, or is it the rotors being glazed? I don't know. I mean, there could be a lot of different things, but these rotors are brand new. I wouldn't think that would be the case. Maybe I didn't prep them properly. Maybe I didn't clean them correctly. Maybe there's some contaminants over on the brake pads, but then again, if there was, wouldn't it make noise all the time? So there's a lot of gray areas of the reason why this could potentially be an issue. When they're cold, you would think they would make noise, but they don't. So which is kind of weird. So we're gonna have to definitely check that out today. They'll get definitely louder in a minute. There they are.
12 seconds later.
So I hauled dick around that corner. I didn't record it, but I look right behind me, and then there's another Mustang that literally is white and it has a hood on it, and I just happened to see him as I was doing that. So gotta flex your dominance a little bit, even though it's a V6 Mustang. There he is. There he is. There's your boy. I'm here. Your little rotary that you got. What you got going on over here? It's my first time seeing you taking this thing apart.
Don't ask me no questions. I don't know. I mean, it's just giving it a light clean. It
Okay.
takes away all the carbon. So this is all carbon.
Oh, that goes hard. 13B Mazda right there. Oh, I love that. So this is after it's been cleaned.
Yeah.
Wow, it actually turned out very nice. What I love is that I'm over here talking to you about this, and he's over here working on my car.
I mean, it's being there in the process.
I
Trust it?
Do you? That's a question I should ask. I mean, I do, but I mean, I hope so. Will it be good?
I guess we'll find out.
I don't want to hear that answer. See this?
Two 13mm bolts. I have a bungee cord. The holes that with the bolts went. The ABS wire is not like dangling fully down. It's not going to be ripped off. Next, we're going to take off the this bracket here. It's 110 mil bolt. We're loosening the nut for the brake line here.
Then loosen it to make it easy.
This is going to make a big mess. There's already brake fluid leaking onto your control arm.
Yes.
Not the control arm. I hate this. The nut is backed off, so I can move the brake line freely.
Let's get these nasty things out of here. Nasty.
It's also gonna make a mess here too.
Looks like my pee. And for those of you guys that are unaware what that bracket is, this was actually a bracket I put on the last video, and that bracket is made specifically for putting on this bigger rotor right here, because in order for me to put this bigger rotor on, I had to have a bracket to be able to lift up that caliper, so that's the reason why we have that on there.
I fill them up.
Huh?
You can hear it, but you can feel if it's like feels like just straight up metal on metal. Because that first couple pumps, pause, it's gonna be cushioned, but once you get that metal noise, it means it's pretty much clean inside. You can also brake clean inside here, and then just do that.
Reminds me of the toilet from SpongeBob when he's like, please, first.
Please, please.
I wouldn't go in there for a couple days, or maybe weeks.
I wouldn't go in there for a couple days or weeks.
How do you feel that every time you come to work on your car at my job, I end up working on your car?
When you do work on my car at work, I don't like it in a way, but I also don't mind at the same time because I know it's getting done right.
Yeah.
With somebody like me who doesn't really know too much about how this stuff works, and I just kind of go how it goes, and if it works, it works. But there's definitely stuff that you've taught me along the way while we're in here that has helped me. Kind of like, for example, with this diff cover in here, there's a few things like, for example, how the bolts line up or the way that you release the fluid. That was common sense to you that may not be common sense to me. You know, kind of answer his question, having two different minds does help, but I'm glad that I actually have Joe who does know more than I do, and I'm so okay with saying that because I don't know much. I just kind of go off my own limb and just see how everything goes, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't, then I ask him for help. But to kind of go forward into that though, when he does work on my car, I like being able to give him an extra hand, but I do also understand at the same time, I am a little bit slower when it comes to doing stuff, and to him it's just second nature. So I kind of just let him do his thing, and if he does need help, I do help him. If not, I just talk to him, keep him company, and just, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like if I let you do this, I'd be like, dude, we should have been on the other side by now.
Yeah, it's like move. You're just taking up space. Okay, aside from this comedy show we've been having, what are you doing next? I see that you put in some stainless steel brake line brackets in.
Yeah.
Looking beautiful over here. And by the way, you see an L on there, it means left. Joe has a pretty good way of being able to push the piston back into the caliper. And what he's doing right now is he actually put a bolt on one end. And what he's doing is to hold it in place. When he does push that piston back in, then it's a lot easier and he's not having to hold it with his hands and it's moving all over the place.
There's two grooves in the piston. Those need to be twisted back. If you don't know what this is, it's basically an alternative for this. You just have to put an extension and manually just like rotate, but they slip. And if you don't have anything like that, then you can rent one of these out at Vato Zone. The little pins go in the actual groove here. This is rubber.
Okay.
So if you use pliers, you might rip it. So right now I'm aligning the grooves. Theoretically 12 o'clock position and 6 o'clock position.
That I didn't know. Why would that be?
When you try to put it back on, there's a little pin right here that you have to line up the groove with. If you don't, it's gonna fuck up your caliper. So we have the crush washers, the banjo bolt, and we have to add the other crush washer. This is gonna be messy and annoying.
Shit, you're right. This is messy.
Everything in.
She a squirter, huh?
Clean. It's always satisfying cleaning suspension parts.
So there is a method that Joe created. I wouldn't say he created it, but to me, he created it. He did a great job with it. And at first I thought, how are you gonna put this piece on? And I was like, you could use pliers, you could put your fingers, whatever, the normal backyard mechanic shit. But no, he went to school for this, he learned and developed over it. What he ended up doing is something I'm probably gonna learn from. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier when it comes to learning and allowing him to do what he needs to do, because for me, I'd be sitting here for hours. So with that being said, that final clip that I was telling you guys about that needs to go onto the back side of this brake line, Joe's gonna be pushing that on and do some magic shit. Call him David Copperfield, because he's gonna get this shit on immediately.
It's just a clip.
You're supposed to get it on. Magic methods. Say hi to the person that decided to buy my rotors. His name is Nestor. You guys have seen him in a previous video before. And he actually owns a 2010, I knew that, 2010 Mustang. And everyone hated him in the comment section for not bringing his car today, knowing I wasn't going to be here today, but still showed up. What's going on with that, man?
Nah, you're setting me up right now, man.
The reason why he is zip tying that ABS wire is because there's this little clip that's on the original line that we have here, and this is something I originally wanted to have back on, and Joe even asked me if I wanted it on too, but unfortunately you can't put that on because there's no way of taking it off. So that's why Stop Tech provides some glow in the dark zip ties, which I'm okay with. As much as I would have preferred this, I still don't mind the zip ties as long as they don't snap on us, because we do live in Las Vegas and shit dries out pretty quickly. And when I'm talking about pretty quickly, as you can see right here, over on my upper control arm, the bushing is starting to dry out. So that only means one thing. We gotta replace it.
Yeah, we're probably gonna need more fluid.
So Joe taught me something, again, as he usually does. I shot it at him. Joe taught me something, and originally I thought one way and it was definitely the other way. So pretty much what Joe told me is I originally had .3 in the car, and that's what the car recommended. Now I put .4 in, I freaked out, searched up online if you could put .3 from .4 in, found out you can do .4. But to kind of sum everything up, Joe said yes, it's compatible to have .4 brake fluid in with .5.1, but not, and I mean not .5.
So leaned back.
Holy shit, there's so much room in the passenger side of the car. And the seat feels better. It just feels like it's like, ugh, just let it all hang out.
Car's a bit of torque.
Wow. Impressive. Feels definitely a lot different when you're in the passenger seat to the driver's seat. I can tell you that.
So the point of this is to brake hard without locking up the wheels. And intermittently you have to drive and let it cool down.
Comfy with it.
Sorry, I had to take that turn.
No, you're okay. I was trying to get myself back up out of the seat. There it is. The notorious squeak. No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It's what's confusing about it. So, to kind of go into a little bit more detail about this, everything worked out great. Everything works out as it should. So 2 months later, this is present day Logan. Hi, nice to see you guys again. I know it's been a minute. I know, long time no see. So, long story short, we actually ended up changing out the front pads over on the car, and it actually eliminated the sound once and for all. Thank God. It was driving me nuts. And as for the rear end of the car, we got everything completed with the stainless steel brake lines, the brand new pads that are ceramic. I do want to mention that they are ceramic pads and they feel really good. And we also have obviously the brand new GT500 rear rotors, which if you guys haven't checked out those videos, we have a complete series on not only the front but also the back as well that I'll be linking down below. I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for staying this far into the video, and I'm excited to see you guys in the next one when we decide to go ahead and add a brand new mod to the car that every Mustang should have had from factory, but they didn't for whatever reason. And you guys will see that in the next video.